Hello and welcome back to the recap. Today we venture into hell and stick a soul stone in our forehead, so be advised for spoilers, and as always, consider subscribing to our channel. So the game begins in a small town called Tristram, set in Honduras, one of the western kingdoms in the mortal realm of Sanctuary. Upon your return home from the battlefield, you are greeted by an ex-Horadrim scholar named Deckard Cain. Now, the Brotherhood of the Horadrim, also known as the Horadric Order, were an ancient brotherhood of mages and wizards that were formed by the Archangel Tyrael to capture the three prime evils who were banished to the mortal realm by their lesser brethren. The prime evils are Diablo, Lord of Terror, Mephisto, Lord of Hatred, and Baal, Lord of Destruction. Archangel Tyrael fashioned 3 soul stones in which they would capture the essence of these evils. Each of them was a shard of the World Stone, a colossal mountain-sized object with power to alter reality, create life, and even worlds of their own. As the Order went on its crusade, the first evil to get captured was Mephisto. His soul stone was entrusted to the Order of Zakarum, also known as the Church of Light, who buried it under the Temple of Light in Kyrgyzstan. Baal was the second one to fall, though his soul stone was shattered in the process. Since there was no time to reformulate the soul stone, one of the Horadric mages named Tal Rasha volunteered himself as a surrogate. He plunged the largest shard of the broken soul stone into his chest and was entombed beneath the sands of Aranok, fated to wrestle with Baal's spirit for eternity. This brings us to the last one to fall, Diablo. He was defeated and imprisoned in Honduras, the very same region this game is set in, and his soul stone was buried deep in a network of caves above which a Horadric cathedral was erected. With the prime evils imprisoned, the Horadric Order dissipated over time. Its warriors became scholars, and a small, humble town rose by the cathedral, Tristram. Years have passed. The newly appointed King Leoric, who came from Kyrgyzstan, made Tristram Honduras' capital, with the seat of power in the ancient Horadrim Cathedral. Although the people of Honduras were not pleased with coming under the rule of a foreign king, Leoric served them with justice and eventually earned their respect. Leoric's right hand and most trusted advisor was an archbishop named Lazarus. Seated at the Tristram Cathedral, he was drawn by some mystical power to venture deep into the cave system below, where he found Diablo's hidden soul stone. At this point, the soul stone was fully corrupted with Diablo's essence, and he was able to manipulate Archbishop Lazarus into shattering the stone, releasing the evil from its prison. Diablo then possessed King Leoric's mind. Sensing that he had been possessed by some unknown evil, Leoric fought against Diablo's will, keeping it a secret from those closest to him. Since Leoric was a good and strong man, as well as a follower of Zakarum, or the Order of Light as you will, his mind was not easily broken. However, over time he did descend into madness, ordering unspeakable acts. The final nail in the coffin of his sanity was when his son went missing. Paranoid and trustless, he held mass executions of his own people. He sank deep into the poisoning madness until finally his own first lieutenant, Knight Lagdanan, killed him after being wrongfully accused of kidnapping the king's son, Prince Albrecht. Lagdanan saw there was no way for his king to come back from this, so with the support of the troops he did what he had to. With his dying breath, Leoric cursed Lagdanan and his knights to serve him in darkness forever. Since King Leoric was a good and noble man devoted to the cause of light in his prime days, it was decided he had a proper burial, as a man they once knew, not a madness-ridden fiend. Which brings us back to your return to Tristram. Ogden, the tavern keeper, explains how all was peaceful after the burial until one night the Dark Riders came and destroyed the town. Hordes of demons swarming everywhere, people murdered where they stood. Those who took arms to defend the town were slain or dragged away to become slaves. Inhuman screams can be heard echoing in the night. The once holy cathedral has been desecrated and is now being used for dark rituals. This whole event is also known as the darkening of Tristram. Ogden implores you to go to the cathedral and save who you still can, and you, being a well-trained weapon of war, oblige, of course. It's not like you can do much else now that the situation in town is of this sort. Things go downhill pretty fast when in front of the entrance you stumble upon a butchered person lying in a pool of its own blood. With his last breath, the man explains that the Archbishop Lazarus led them down to the cellar as a search party for the late King Leoric's abducted son. However, he led them into a trap, and everyone was massacred by a demon overlord people called the Butcher. He begs you to slay this Butcher and avenge their souls. So you head on down, and after hacking your way through hordes of these fiends and hell spawns, you find yourself before the Butcher's chamber.
Fresh meat.
The Butcher is overwhelmed with joy given the chance to kill you, but your fighting skills surpass his murdering enthusiasm and he falls dead.
The spirits of the dead are now avenged.
It's no exaggeration why they nicknamed him so. His room looks like a meat shop gone horribly wrong. Impaled, cut people on every square meter, blood and human flesh smeared all over the walls, making the room look like a raw human stew. As you bring the good news to the townsfolk, Ogden has some more bad news. Evil forces have risen King Leoric's dead body and assigned him a legion of undead minions to wreak havoc all over. Ogden again implores you to go and slay him, so you do. It seems his skeletal visage isn't quite as handy with his sword as his living counterpart was, so you destroy him along with his skeleton party.
Rest well, Leoric. I'll find your son.
You swear on his grave to find his son, and you venture even deeper under the cathedral, all the way through the catacombs to the cave system underneath the town. Here, the beasts start to resemble minions of hell even more. Scorching lava bursts through terrain. The feeling of dread rises with each passing moment. After clearing all the caves, you venture even deeper, finding yourself in hell itself. The scenery is beyond reason. Bone walls filled with boiling blood, impaled and cut humans decorating the halls. These succubi shoot blue balls at you and die with heavy dosage of vocal effects. There are even golden vipers lurking in packs. If that's not enough, look at these fine gentlemen defending their master's honor. Anyway, at some point, you come across a friendly blood knight. Turns out this well-spoken sir is Lagdanan, King Leoric's cursed first lieutenant. He begs you not to kill him and instead wants you to find a certain elixir that will put an end to the curse so his soul can rest. How can you turn him down when he is so polite? In any case, you find the elixir among hordes of demons and bring it to him as promised. Now you get this insane-looking helm, and after putting it on you have
max resistance to everything.
Time to find the source of this wretched corruption. But what's this? Lazarus's arcane staff? You better talk to Cain about it. Cain explains how those surviving members of the search party saw Lazarus flee deep under the caves. He fears Leoric's son is with him and hope he's still alive. You return to this giant pentagram, and thanks to the staff you found, there is a portal to Lazarus' chambers. Now we are met with some more succubi. While they differ in color, their breast size and power down sound is still the same. Naturally, there are some advocates here as well. You turn them all into paste and dust and find Lazarus.
Abandon your foolish quest. All that awaits you is the wrath of my master. You are too late to save the child. Now you will join him in hell.
He's a ranged bastard, so thanks to your
Maximum resistance.
his pathetic fireballs are no match for you, so he gets dusted like his advocates.
Your madness ends here, betrayer.
Based on the description you gave him, Deckard Cain explains how the sacrificed boy on the Archbishop's altar is not Prince Albrecht, again feeding the hope he might still live. You decide to return to Hell, and now, with Lazarus dead, Pentagram portal to the final stage is open. You bravely port yourself to the deepest reaches of Hell, and are met with the Lord of Terror himself. Diablo isn't counting on your
Maximum resistance.
and is soon met with the same fate as his spawns. As he falls to the floor, you're bound to a quick decision. You take out your pocket knife and remove the soul stone. As you do so, his body shrivels and shrinks, and Prince Albrecht's fate is finally revealed. The boy was used for the manifestation of Diablo's mortal form. They stuck a soul stone into the poor boy's head and Diablo was able to manifest physically. Thing is, Diablo could never fully control King Leoric because he was too strong, so the Archbishop came with the idea to kidnap the son and use him as a vessel. A bit overconfident, you decide the best course of action is to stick the soul stone in your own forehead and pray for the strength to contain Diablo's essence in you. As you wrestle the demon, your thoughts somehow turn to the east. You hope that beyond desolate wastes of Arlanok you'll find answers. And there you have it, Diablo. Now, if you want to know how this genius plan worked out for you in the long run, stay tuned for the recap of the next installment in the series. Until then, slam those like and subscribe buttons instead of a soul stone and stay safe.